Hi, I'm back again, in pajamas again. I will probably always be in pajamas because I don't like wearing real clothes. So, like I said before, I'm going to start with pillowcase. It's my first project. So I just grabbed like one of my clean ones from the closet as a template. I'm gonna turn it inside out. I'll do that right now. That way I can see, like, I have a pattern that I'm gonna go off of that way. Find the corners. I can also see what kind of stitch that they used on this, which I don't think I am able to do. So I will probably just do like a straight stitch and maybe like to see they're doing whatever nonsense that is on here. But hey, we'll make it work. That is what this is about. Okay. Mostly inside out. I don't know what I'm doing. So this one does have like the fold over instead of just like an open sleeve. I don't really care for that, so I'm probably not going to do that when I make my one. Mostly because it doesn't ever work. It gives me an extra little piece of fabric that I am fighting with on my bed. And I got this really cozy, soft, it's so soft, material that I'm going to use, so it'll be like a little winter pillowcase. I'm excited. I want this to work. This probably will because it's a pillowcase and it's hard to mess that up, but I want to get better. I want to have there be progress. So I'm going to pause this, get everything all set up. I don't know how to do a time lapse, and so I'm not going to make you sit through like the hour that it's going to take me to cut this out, because I am pretty sure that I'm going to lay it out and get everything set up, and then remember that I'm doing something else because I am also doing laundry and I'm supposed to do the dishes. I'm also doing other stuff, so my brain is crazy. It'll happen. So I'm not gonna make you sit through that. And eventually I will figure out how to do captions on my phone. I can do it on the laptop, but you saw how crappy my laptop video was, so I'll figure it out. It's a work in progress. We'll figure this out. It'll be fine. Alright, so I'm doing this on the floor because I don't really have a lot of space for stuff. But I decided which way I wanted the bears' heads to be on the pillow, and I'm laying it out. I'm making sure everything is flat. I'm giving myself plenty of space for the seam because I want to have room for mistakes. Once I have like all the wrinkles and everything out and I have like the allowance that I want, I'm going to pin it down and then I'm going to cut it all out. And I will update you as I continue on. Okay, it's pinned down. Yes, it's also moved a few times. I've stabbed myself a few times, but there's no blood on anything, not bleeding. I noticed that one side is not sewn. They just folded the fabric in half, and I just barely have enough room to do that. I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to add like a little trim, which is fine. I'll make it work. But that'll make it even easier, at least like the main pillowcase part, because then I won't have to sew 3 sides, I'll only sew 2, but then I will have to add a trim. So I'm still playing with it. But it is pinned down. I'm going to cut, once I get to the end of the pinning, I'm going to repin it and cut from there. Sorry, I got a notification. I was reading and I forgot where I was going. Cut, repin, cut some more. Maybe. I might just grab a measuring tape and do it that way. I'll see how I'm feeling once I get that far. It is cut. I gave myself extra room on the side I was cutting because I can't cut in a straight line. Can't sew in a straight line. Can't do anything in a straight line. Surprisingly, I am straight. I know, it's weird. But it's cut. Woohoo! So now I am going to unpin the stupid pillowcase, figure out which side is the inside and which side is the outside, fold it in half and pin it hopefully straight. We'll find out, as I have mentioned, that's not easy for me. And then maybe I'll sew it tonight even. We shall see. So I figured out which one is the inside and which is the outside. I looked at the little writing. If I can read the writing, it's probably the outside. I have my little pin cushion with pins and the little pepper that I don't know what the pepper does. I have the original pillowcase out on top of it. Just to get an idea of what I'm looking at. I do have some extra space here, so I will still probably need to add a little trim just to get rid of the wording that's there, but not much. I gave myself plenty of extra room on both sides, so I'm going to start pinning. I have heard you want the pins to go, this way, but I've also heard you want the pins to go this way. I don't know, so I'm gonna do what I want to do, and if it works, awesome. If not, hopefully I don't break my new sewing machine. I'm gonna pin it now. Alright, so I figured out what I'm gonna do for the trim. I have this, it was for a Klaus cosplay that I bought. It was too long, so I cut it, and I have this little extra bit of fabric. It's really nice and soft. It's real stretchy though. Alright, I'm gonna turn this into the trim. So I'm going to pin this and sew this on before I do the sides. Because I did make one pillowcase in home ec in like 8th grade. And I was looking at it. I still have it. It's in the basement in the wash. It's ugly. It has dragons and fire on it because I'm lame. I'm very lame. And I was looking at it and I did the edge of the pillowcase first before I sewed it together. So I'm going to do that this time too in hopes that that works. Alright, I'm gonna get this pinned and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm pinning it down, but because I have to flip it over and adjust the other side and make sure it's straight, I'm only like stabbing the pin in there, which I don't like. I'm worried I'm gonna stab myself when I flip it over, but it's the only way I can think of to do it to keep it in place. I'm sure there's an actual way, but I don't know it. So this is what I'm doing. It'll work. It'll work. It didn't work. I went to flip it over and everything came out. I should have seen that coming, but yeah. Well, back to pinning I go. Oh, this is gonna take forever. I pinned it properly this time. It's not falling off. I mean, it will if I shake it. Maybe. I'm not gonna test that theory because I don't want to pin it a third time. So now I'm going to just fold over this and pin it a third time. And then I'm going to cut off the extra and sew it. And then I'm going to do it to the other side and pin that 3 times and sew that. And then maybe I can actually sew the sides together and have a pillowcase. Maybe. Why? This should not be this hard. Like, really? Everybody sews. Like, this is, like... Why is this so hard? I'm on day 3 and I'm having a mental breakdown. Over sewing. Not even sewing, I'm pinning. Okay, back to it. I realized I made another mistake. So I only made it on the other side, the inside, so like I don't technically have to fix it. I'm going to because I want to try and get this as right as possible, but I just have the ugly edge there. I'm gonna kind of fold it in so that you don't have that, so it's like a nice little thing. So now I get to pin it a fourth time, but now I know, and I will probably make the same mistake next time, but hey, this is why we're learning. Yay! Learning is fun. Okay, I have the sewing machine locked and loaded. Hopefully I can sew this in a straight line. I don't know. The yarn I'm using is from like the 80s. Yarn. I keep saying yarn. I did that on the phone too. The thread I am using is from like the 80s. It says it's 15 cents on it. So hopefully that doesn't break on me. It seems to match my panda fabric pretty well. I'm going to start sewing. As soon as I get over my fear that this is going to end up terribly. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm just going to sew and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Right? It's going to be fine. Not entirely sure I did it right, but it's on there. So now I get to redo this all on the other end and then sew it together. Yay. I kind of wish I could do a time lapse because my facial expressions on this are hilarious. Anyway, I'm pinning it. I'm doing it a little bit differently this time. I'm still gonna have to pin it twice because I have so much extra fabric and I didn't want to cut it too short, like width-wise. So I am like kind of folding it over, putting the front, or what's going to be the outside, down nicely, flipping it back, trying to find the edge, and then pinning it in place. And then once I'm done with this, I will cut it and then just leave a little extra room so I can fold it under and just like pull out a pin, fold it, and then sew it. I don't know why this is taking me so long, but it is. At least you get to watch the condensed version. I had to do this. Pinning is complete. I'm going to sew it now. Well, the second bit of this now. And then if I'm feeling really good, I might pin it and sew the sides and have a whole completed pillowcase tonight. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I really want to get this done. I'm excited to have this done. It is technically my bedtime though. We have completed edges on both sides. I'm very, very pleased with it. I definitely can't sew in a straight line, but that's why I started with the pillowcase and not anything important. So now I need to refigure out which side is the inside and which side is the outside, since I can no longer see the writing. And then pin it inside out and then sew the sides. I might have a pillowcase tonight. I have one side pinned. I drew a little line in orange pen on the edge of where the pillowcase was, so I still have a lot of extra room. Plus this is the inside, so even if it doesn't wash out, it's, who cares, right? So I did realize that this might be too thick for the sewing machine, both of these together. So hopefully that doesn't break anything. If it does, I'll let you know and cry and call my mom and ask for help. So onto the sewing of the side. I have one side done. It did not break my needle to do this. I was very happy about that. I did not draw a straight orange line, but I stayed on the line. So that means that once I learn how to like draw a line, I can sew in a straight line. Like, you know, I'll get there. I will get there. That's all that matters. So I'm just going to pin this last side over here. I'm going to sew it. And then I'm going to have a pillowcase. I should probably throw it in the wash before I use it, but I'm not sure I'm going to because I am very lazy. I might just put it on my pillow and sleep on it tonight. Yay! Alright, I am pinned. I drew my line again. Probably also not straight. But I'm going to sew this, and then I'm going to go get a pillow and put it on it, and that'll be the moment of truth. I have a pillowcase. I also trimmed the sides so that there's not so much extra fabric going on. And now I'm going to go find a pillow. First I'm going to flip it right side out, and then I'm going to go find a pillow, and we're going to hope that it fits. It should. I made it bigger than the normal pillow, the actual like pillowcase that I used. So like it should fit. It should fit. I got a pillow. It is in the pillowcase. It is definitely too big. But that's okay, because I can make it smaller if I really wanted to. I also made it too long, but like a lot. So it turns out I didn't need to do this. I could have just folded it over and been fine. But now I know. And I have a really soft, fuzzy pillowcase cover. I'm happy with it. I have enough material to make one more. So I will probably